Hello, Thankful Thursday. Have you ever considered that the words we speak actually reflect our standing with God? Like where we are with God? Today's August 21st, 2025. My name's Wendy. I'm with Dream Big Today, and this is my new nugget. I want to look at Job chapters 1 through 3 today. And I can tell you in Job, there's so many different lessons to be learned, and there's so many different nuggets to draw out of it, right? It's just packed full of wisdom and knowledge and teachings. But the first thing that came to me today, and it's probably because God has really been trying to refine me in this area, is the words that we speak. And I actually wrote like at the top, I was like, words, like our words, right? They matter. And so that's what I want to talk about today and focus on is the words that we speak. Jesus said himself in Matthew 15 and 18, but the words you speak come from the heart. That's what defiles you, or doesn't, right? But it's not what goes in our mouths, but what comes out. That's what defiles us, right? Is the words that we speak. And so in chapters 1 through 3 of Job today, I want to look at the different words that were spoken. The words were spoken by Job, by God, by the accuser, by his wife, and by Job's friends. So our words carry tremendous power. Satan's words today had power in the courts of heaven, at least enough for justice's sake for them to be investigated, right? So God's words had power, and then the accuser's words had power. So for justice's sake, God was like, all right, let's investigate what you're saying and see if it's true or not. As judge of everything and being a God of justice, that's what needs to be done, right? Is he needs to investigate the accusations and to find out if we're guilty or not, if it's true or not. So that's what he allows. Okay, do this and let's see if what you're saying is true. And it made me think, are our words testifying for us or against us in the courts of heaven? Debbie said something interesting in her Bible study this morning. She said, the accuser became corrupt by his own pride. And I went, ooh, do we become corrupt by our own pride in situations, thinking that we're better than someone else, that we know better? Maybe we're just frustrated and we're saying things about our children or our friends, to like, even if it's just private with our husband, the heavens still hear our words, right? Do we become accusers of ourselves or others by the words that we speak out of frustration or anger or hatred or disappointment? Are we causing undue investigation on ourselves or others simply by the words we speak? Job didn't. And we see here that when all of these afflictions happened and God allowed this to take place so that he could see if what the devil was accusing him of was true or not, Job passed the test. In fact, he passed with flying colors because he actually praised God. Incredible. I can't, losing everything, and you are so in tune with God, so aligned with God, that you praise him. God gave it to me, God will take it away, and I praise him. No matter what, I praise him. Wow. What an example. Such an incredible example. It blows my mind. And in all of this, Job did not sin by blaming God. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. David understood this principle. That was Proverbs 18:21. Or I guess it wouldn't have been David. Proverbs, that's Solomon. I'm sorry. Solomon understood that there is life and death are in the power of the tongue. Matthew chapter 12, verses 33 through 37, Jesus is teaching, and he's actually talking to the Pharisees, and he gives an example of basically a tree is known by its fruit, right? Which brings me back to at the very beginning when I said, are the words we speaking, have we considered the words we speak being a reflection of our standing with God, who we really are inside with God? Because our words come from the heart. Jesus said, make a tree good and its fruit will be good. Or make a tree bad and its fruit will be bad. For a tree is recognized by its fruit. You brood of vipers, how can you, who are evil, say anything good? For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in him, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil things stored up in him. But I tell you that everyone will have to give an account on the day of judgment in the courts of heaven for every empty word they have spoken. Are words spoken carelessly? For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. So what is it going to be? We determine that outcome. We do. It's our choice. And I can tell you one of the hardest things that I have had to learn is how to bridle my tongue. And it's taken God a lot of time to teach me this. Because it's a struggle. When we get hurt or offended or sad or disappointed or angry, the words that come out of our mouths, oof. Job's words praised God. God's words showed his confidence in his servant. Does God have confidence in us that we'll pass the test? That's a heavy question. It clearly shows God is the God of everything and the judge. He's the final say, right? He heard the arguments. He rendered the verdicts. He set the boundaries. And then, of course, the accuser. I can tell you, the accuser, it says, he stands before God accusing the brethren night and day. He stands accusing us night and day. Even the blameless, Job, right? He'll take whatever he can and try and twist it against us. But when we do things that validate his accusations, then it's easy for him. And he delights in that, you know? Job's wife today, her words showed her heart with God. It showed her standing with God, what kind of faith she had, what kind of understanding she had versus Job's. Do we have the kind of faith to be able to be like Job in that situation? And then finally, Job's friends' words. They just sat for 7 days in silence. And I can tell you, one of the biggest lessons I've learned in the last year and a half is, you know, that little phrase people say that what silence is golden or whatever. Silence is a lot of the time the best choice. Just be silent. Because a lot of the time we could try to come up with good words, but they'll fail us. And then the other part of the time, it seems like they come out negatively, right? But like yesterday's Proverb 21:23, it says, watch your tongue and keep your mouth shut, and you will stay out of trouble. Silence. Silence is the best choice in so many circumstances, so that we can stand blameless before God. So I just want to encourage you to think about the words you speak. Think about the power they hold and what it's doing in your life and in the lives of those around you. You know, we could be speaking about people that we don't even realize the damage it's doing in heaven, because our words are continually accusing them before God. And that's a heavy reality for me to think about, you know. Like, I don't want to be held responsible ever for that. So, anyway, just be considerate of your words. Go to the Lord and ask him, you know, where do I need to be better on this, and help me to bridle it with your bridle, Lord. And we can be like Job, blameless before God. So anyway, this is my new nugget. Thank you for being with me today. I love being here with you guys, and I am so grateful for you. So please leave your comments, share your nuggets, share your thoughts on today's word, and let's just build this community together. Thank you so much. I love you, and I pray God's Spirit over you, that it fills you, fills your mouth, your heart, fills you completely with joy and delight.